Mr. Speaker, sir, I am grateful to honorable members for the deep interest they have taken in the budget and in the finance bill presented to the House. It will not be possible for me to deal with each one of the members. I propose to classify the subjects into certain categories and then proceed to deal with them, no doubt referring to the various points made by the honorable members from time to time. Now I should like to refer to some points of procedure before I take up the subjects which have been dealt with in the debate. Some honorable members asked why there should be so much secrecy in budgeting. They put forward the view that there should be more open discussion of the budget. It may be recalled that I myself had expressed an opinion when I was on the other side of the house. I also still continue to hold that opinion. I am of the opinion that it is unnecessary to keep a tight secrecy in respect of certain matters. For instance, I may point out that there are some laws where even if one knows them earlier, the consequence will not be serious. But of course, it will be difficult to distinguish which of them will have serious consequences and which will not. But by and large, I should think that there is scope for a little more open budgeting in respect of some matters at least. If I will not be taken to task and will not be asked to resign, I shall try some kind of a little open budgeting. In this way, I shall introduce a kind of discussion on matters in which the public opinion should be elicited before the actual law is framed. Now I will deal with the criticism made by some honorable members with which we are not in agreement. In fact, it will be a sad world if everyone agreed with everybody else. These honorable members have said that I have given too many concessions to the industrial class. My answer is this. As I have explained earlier in the course of this debate, so far as our party is concerned, we are committed to a mixed economy. In this mixed economy, both the public sector and the private sector will have to exist. Of course, the public sector will have the commanding heights, but at the same time, the private sector also will have to function within the limits set for them. So long as they function within these limits, they are entitled to have concessions from the government in order that they may be able to contribute their share to the total national wealth. That is why we have given these concessions. If we do not give these concessions, then one sector will not be effective. As a result, the total national wealth will be reduced to that extent. If the total national wealth will be reduced, then to that extent, the distribution of wealth among the people will get reduced. Therefore, so far as the concessions which we have given to the industrial class are concerned, they are in the national interest. It is in the interest of the nation so that we may produce more for distribution among the people. I shall now deal with some specific points raised in the course of the debate. Honorable members said that the size of the plan was not adequate. Perhaps it is not enough if the finance minister is an economist. In addition, he has to be a magician if he is to be in a position to satisfy everybody. Let me explain the position clearly. People want a larger plan, a lower tax, and then no deficit. I submit that it is a thing which it is not possible to perform. It should be realized that if the size of the plan has to be increased, then we will have to raise additional resources. Unless we raise additional resources, the plan cannot be of the size which will benefit the people. So, taking all aspects into consideration, the government decided upon the present size of the plan. Then the question about the Provisional Collection of Taxes Act was raised. It was said that on account of this act, sufficient time was not available to the House for discussion on the various demands for grants. I do not agree with this. According to me, what stands in the way of full discussion is the vote on account, on which we normally take sanction of funds for 2 months, within which the appropriation bill has to be passed in the both the houses. So it is necessary to fix a particular time limit within which the demands have to be discussed. It is a matter for the leaders of all parties to discuss in the Business Advisory Committee and reach agreement on this issue. Finally, some suggestions were made to deal with black money. So far as the issue of bonds is concerned, I would like to say that it is not a simple thing. It will make the people think that they can go on making black money and someday convert it into white money. So I agree that subject to some modifications, it can be looked into. At the moment, I am only telling the house that I am seized of this matter and I shall try to do the best I can in the circumstances. It is not possible to take the house or anybody into confidence as to what we would do in this matter. But I am fully conscious of the impact of black money on the economy. One of the ways in which we can deal with the situation is to take drastic action. If the House will support me, certainly the preventive detention measure will be used for the purpose.